Hello, everybody. I'm Holly Furfer. I am so happy and honored to be here with everybody today, along with an incredible woman, a powerful, strong, inspirational woman, Lori George Billingsley, Chief Diversity Officer at Coca-Cola. Hi, Lori. Welcome.
Hi, Holly. Thank you so much. And I'm honored to be honored.
So it is Women's History Month. So what a better time for Dress for Success Atlanta to celebrate by highlighting women in power in the Atlanta area. And I want to let everybody know that, right off the bat, if you want to get involved and help, and I know, Laura, you and I talked about this before we started this interview, that all you have to do is donate 1 hour of your salary, of your paycheck, sometime this month to support Dress for Success Atlanta. Excuse me, just go to atlanta.dressforsuccess.org because your hour is her power. What a great way to celebrate, Lori. I couldn't think of a better way.
I agree. And I'm going to be sending my check off as well.
Fantastic. Okay, first, so I'm sure everybody wants to know, because everybody has an amazing story. How did you get started in your career, and who were the mentors that you had along the way?
Sure. So I always have to start my story off at my kitchen table in the house I grew up in. My mom and dad, my father was a minister, later a grants officer for the Ford Foundation, and then worked for the State Department. And my mom was a kindergarten and first grade teacher. And what they did was they would bring in members of the community from all walks of life, elected officials, nonprofit leaders, religious leaders, as well as neighbors, to come into our house to solve the problems of the day. So we would be talking about integrating neighborhoods, talking about, education reform, who to vote for, all sorts of issues. And it really had a lasting impact on me because I saw the power of bringing people together to solve common problems, and how bringing in different points of view and different people who didn't necessarily look like you or sound like you to come in and really talk about the issues of the day. So one of my main mentors as a female growing up was my mother. My father's in there too, even though he's not a female.
It's okay.
And my grandmother who was a praying woman and really was a person of faith, who was instrumental in sort of launching my Christian walk.
Amazing. And so how did you end up in your whole career ending up at this amazing spot? And congratulations on your soon retirement. But as Chief Diversity Officer for Coca-Cola, one of the largest companies in the world.
Absolutely. I have had the good fortune and just the true blessing to be in the role that I'm currently in, leading diversity, equity, and inclusion for Coca-Cola. I've been with the company for 20 years. My background is in public affairs and communications. And so ending sort of in the DE&I space has just been such an amazing opportunity, in particular with all of the social justice issues and work that has been done over the past couple of years. So I sort of raised my hand for this role when it became open 3.5 years ago. Was selected to take the role, and really felt like it was a culmination of all of the experiences that I've had at Coca-Cola, both on the global and North America side, in being able to just be a steward of our brand and really work towards having diversity, equity, and inclusion become part of the company's DNA, just sort of the way that we do business, so that diversity, equity, and inclusion becomes part of all of our systems, processes, and tools, as well as our policies, practices, and programs. And so it's truly been a privilege to do that for the past 3.5 years.
And her power is rooted in the belief that the empowered women are the foundation of strong communities, of successful businesses, of prosperous economies. I mean, they've been done studies saying that if women were in more leadership roles in government, this world would be a better place. And you were nominated as someone who embodies not only that success, but throughout your career, you have always reached back. You have given a hand up to so many other women. So what are some of the ways that you were able to help other women? And why was it so important for you to reach back and bring people up to where you are?
Sure. I think, you always have to pay it forward. So I had the good fortune of going to Howard University as my undergraduate degree college. And my professor of public relations, Debbie Miller, was my first mentor. She's still my mentor today, and actually has been instrumental in all of the roles that I've taken on jobs. She has sort of been the red thread throughout. She's known someone who's known someone at the companies that I've been hired at. And it was just really a good example of how seeing someone sort of, be your champion, be the one who's cheering you on, be the one who's coaching you. And it really left an indelible print on me. And so I've made sure that, in particular, from a diversity perspective, every role that I've been in, I've really looked at, okay, who are people who look like me, who might not see themselves in higher roles? How can I sort of bring them along and just coach them and guide them and give them, just lessons learned from my life and from my career, as well as others from people that I know, to kind of help them accelerate their career. And so that's really been the reason why I've had sort of this real passion to reach back in working with other organizations. I mean, Dress for Success Atlanta is amazing. Certainly want to. I was sharing that in my retirement, post-retirement days, I'm going to come in and volunteer. But there are a number of organizations that are out there that really help to promote mentorship for women. And I just find that that is just a sort of a heartstring tug for me, to just let women know that, use your inside voice outside. Always speak up when you get a seat at the table, and look for someone who you admire and the qualities that that person has, and ask them to be a mentor. And I've had the privilege of being a mentor to so many women who I'm proud of. And I look back now and I'm just like, gosh, am I getting old? These people are getting up there in the ranks in their companies. Does that mean I'm old? What's happening? But I'm so proud of all of them. And it's just been an honor to be able to be a mentor to them.
And you mentioned getting a seat at the table. So what advice would you give to women today who are eyeing that chair and want that seat at the table? How do they get there?
Absolutely. I think you have to raise your hand up for maybe assignments that aren't in your comfort zone. So sort of look outside of the comfort zone of the places and spaces that you would normally kind of go to within your job, and raise your hand for special projects. Raise your hand for roles that maybe aren't 100% aligned with what you want to do, but will help you sort of broaden and expand your knowledge of the business, expand your network to maybe other people that you wouldn't normally interact with. And then once you get that seat at the table, I said, I always say, use your inside voice outside. A lot of times we're saying in our heads what we want to say out loud, but we're not 100% sure if that's the right thing. And most of the time it is. So just whatever you're thinking inside of your head while these conversations are going on when you're in a meeting, just say it. The worst that can happen is you're way off, but you can reel it back in, but at least you've said something, and you're not just sitting there taking up a seat and not using your voice. So use your voice. There's power in your voice. And also make sure that you bring others along. Once you get that seat at the table, don't just be satisfied with your seat. Make sure that you're bringing other seats along with you, and other people that can go in those seats that may or may not have an opportunity to do so.
And in your long, illustrious career, have you seen great strides that women have made, or do you think we still have a long way to go? But, obviously banding together, we're stronger together in numbers. But where would you like to see us as well in 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 years?
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I'm super proud of that we've done at Coke is actually made a public commitment to be 50% led by women by 2030. And so I think, to answer your question, I think, yes, we're doing well overall, right? As a country, as a society, but there's so much more we can do to accelerate women getting seats at the table. And what I'm excited about is us, like you said, banding together and seeing how the power of our voice can accelerate that within each of the companies that we're in, and making sure that, again, when we look around that table, that it's balanced, and not just balanced in terms of, the seats that are filled, but balance in terms of, salaries, balance in terms of, responsibility, balance in terms of, P&L responsibility, and the whole host of responsibilities that women I know can excel in. And so I'm excited about the possibilities over the next 10, 20, 30 years, especially when you see the shift in demographics as well, with women, with people of color. It's a new day. And so I'm excited about all the possibilities that brings.
Well, that excites me because I think you're absolutely right. And you are one of these women who have led the way. You have paved that road for all of us. So thank you. And congratulations on your soon retirement from Coca-Cola. But we know that doesn't mean you're going away. It just means you're going to be able to shift that focus to Dress for Success Atlanta and to help mentor and inspire more young women like yourself.
Absolutely. Thank you
so much, Lori. And I want to remind everybody that they can donate. And like you and I, Lori, right when we get off, we're going to do 1 hour of our paycheck, 1 hour of our salary. If you donate it to Dress for Success Atlanta, you are helping pave that way and also create that seat at the table for so many women. So go to atlanta.dressforsuccess.org to start to join your hours. Hour is her power. And congratulations on everything. And we will all celebrate Women's History Month because you know what? In my mind, it's not Women's History Month. It's Women's History all year. So we'll be loud this month, but we're going to continue it throughout the year and the years to come. Thank you, Lori. You're wonderful. And congratulations again.
Thank you again to Dress for Success Atlanta. I appreciate the honor.